What's going on, you guys? It's your girl, Miss J, with Inside Atlanta and Juicy Pop TV. And today, we've been talking about Black History Month. We've been highlighting different people who have made so many strides to make history. And today we are speaking with a very special person. We are speaking with voiceover coach Portia Scott. She has worked with so many great people in the industry. We're going to get some great questions answered, try to figure out how you can get started, how you can book her, and be a awesome and award-winning voiceover actor yourself. Portia, how are you doing today?
I'm really good. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And I just want to say I'm voiceover agent. A little different
Okay.
than coach.
Got it. Okay.
But, in a certain degree, it is ultimately coaching to a certain degree, so it's just semantics.
Got it. Well, I will fix that. So it is correct for you.
Thank
All right,
you.
so let's ask this first question. How did you become a voiceover agent?
Oh, okay. I actually started my career as an actor, not a voice actor, but an actor. Went to school in New York, went to school, Cal State Long Beach. So I spent like half my life in a career as building an acting career. And I had an opportunity to pivot out of that, just kind of fell in my lap. I was like temping at an agency while I was like waiting for my next gig, and started temping on a Monday. And I said, as long as you pay me cash and give me the trades, I was good to go. Because back then the subscriptions to the trades were expensive, and I was like building a career as an actor, and I was like, okay, just hit me up with those two things, and if you could slide me in an audition, that would be real cool too.
Look, as long as you got my money, I'm okay with it.
That's right. And that was in 1998, way back. And I started on a Monday, and by Friday they offered me the job.
Wow.
And the job entailed, like, I was just really temping, but they had me go in because I had acting background. They had me go in and direct some of the actors in the booth and give them, direction, do it. And I was like, oh, this is fun. I got to work with the actors one-on-one. We could, chop it up and have actor talk. It was fantastic. And so when they offered me the job, I thought, well, this is an opportunity to pivot and see what's on the other side of this rainbow, if you will, in my career. And that was 25 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and almost to the day. I think I started in March of 1998. So almost 25 years ago. And sometimes you take another path down and voila, you have a new career.
Okay, so let's shift really quickly. If someone is interested in becoming a voiceover actor, what is some advice that you would give to them with just starting that process?
Sure. So if you're just starting out in the choice of, I want to be a voice actor, a couple of things to take in mind. If you're starting that journey and you've had a career as maybe an on-camera actor, or you've been acting on stage, so you've got some acting chops training behind you. If you're that person, I would say, if you're in LA, the LA market, I'd say get to know the world of voiceover, the market, get to kind of get in some workshops with casting directors, get into some workshops taught by voice actors. Just kind of familiarize yourself with the community before you, run out and say, oh, let me get an agent. Do that, build a demo, and use the demo to go out and shop for your agent. If you're a person who is just starting out and you're coming from a totally different field, my recommendation is to take some acting classes. Just start basic. Don't even say, I want to do all that yet. Start basic, take some acting classes, understand the community of acting and what that is required from you. I would say, starting those in that way. First and foremost.
Okay. And you actually have a long list of clients that you have worked with in the last 25 years who have been Academy Award winners. They've also been Golden Globe winners as well. Some of the films include Toy Story 4, Space Jam: A New Legacy, Raya and the Last Dragon, Over the Moon. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. How do you keep evolving yourself to continue to work with these agent or these artists or actors who are interested in being in this field, where you can put them in the place where in space where they are able to win these awards?
I mean, I think that, really it's keeping really healthy relationships with my buyers, Disney, Pixar, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, keeping really healthy relationships with that, and providing them with competitive talent.
Mm.
That's how you really, on that side of the fence, that's how you stay in the game, is that the industry is constantly evolving. It's staying, contemporary with how the industry evolves, and providing talent that can lean into that. On the talent side, I'm always looking, and I'm always making suggestions for my clients to take classes, to get into workout groups, to continue to watch animation, because it's like I said, if you don't watch it, you
No, I
can't do
don't
it,
understand it. Exactly.
right? You can't do it. So I would say, just for actors, for me to tell my clients to continue to watch animation, work on your skills, stay competitive. Even my clients that are on 2, 3, 4 animated series, I'm always like, jump into this class, jump into to do this, because it's an evolving industry. It's an art form.
Mm.
So consequently, it is always evolving, and you have to really stay up with trend and the art of it.
So do you only help actors who are looking to get into cartoons and animation, or do you also help clients who are interested in saying like possibly a commercial?
Yes, we do. So our areas of specialty are animation, TV feature, video game, commercial, dubbing, and ADR.
Got
So
it.
those are the areas. Now there are other agencies who work on more or less of those categories, but those are our house specialties, if you will. And I think that animation just became my specialty, because that's where I built most of my relationships. That's
Mm.
where I grew. And it's also, it just requires that extra acting muscle, which I could really get in and lean behind just based on my personal background. But we also work on commercials. We've got like a Carvana campaign running. I have a client who's been doing, and I'm hedging because I'm not sure if I can say it. So sometimes we have these NDAs, but a really big campaign for tobacco free for like 11 years. So we have, so we work on a lot of animated content. We're excited. We've got some voices coming up in the Super Bowl on Sunday, right? It's Sunday, yeah? Okay.
Yes.
So we have a couple of clients who have some work in some of the Super Bowl commercials. So that's super exciting. So we work in all, not in all areas, but those areas in particular are our house specialties.
Got it. Okay, so as I mentioned at the beginning, we are celebrating people in Black history who are making strides to make a difference. You are the only Black woman right now in this field in Hollywood for the last 25 years. What does that mean to you? How do you feel about that?
Well, okay, so just a little clarity. Like maybe 4 years ago, we may have had 2 other Black voiceover agents,
Okay.
but they have since left the field and gone on. I know one of them is in casting now, and the other I'm not so sure. So I how do I feel about
Okay,
it?
one of the few. Let's say that. Let's rephrase it. One of the very few.
Well, what I'm saying though is that was a couple of years ago. As of now,
Now.
I don't have any awareness of any. So I'll give some breath to someone out there saying, hey, I'm over here. I'm here. So if they're there, fantastic. I just don't know them.
Got
But
it.
what I do know is that I know my contemporaries. I know the agencies in which we compete against. I know those agents,
Mhm.
and they are not Black and or of color, I could even say. So what do I think about that? I think that, I think it's a field that, people think about being an agent. I think they think in terms of maybe a more theatrical, a sports agent, a more glamorous way, perhaps. I don't know if there's, awareness that there is this opportunity So there's that. And also I think that the agency owners might need to expand and recruit. I think that I would love to, see if there's a way that there can be some recruiting from some of the HBCUs, going out to reach a program that reaches out that says, hey, think about a career as being in the industry, as being an agent, a voiceover agent. There's this opportunity. So I think that there are those possibilities. And I think if I keep talking about it and I keep getting it out there in the lexicon, that perhaps it will be heard. For myself personally, I have been doing, a fair amount of interviews and talking about it, and I keep hearing myself talk about the problem. And I think in terms of the solution is awareness, recruitment, and also I've, co-partnered and created a voiceover curriculum that we're speaking to, a couple of prominent universities to get that in, which hopefully, we can be seen, that can be sold and we can be seen, and people can, go, oh, there is this opportunity and this possibility to either have an emphasis major in voiceover, a degree in drama with an emphasis in voiceover that will present a couple of areas in the field, because it's not just agenting, right? It's casting, it's voice directing. I know no voice director that is Black. In fact, I called a couple of people to say, hey, do you know anyone? Because I'm going to talk about it and I don't want to misspeak and say maybe there's someone out there that I don't know. But I don't know. So there's that. And it starts at the executive level.
Got it.
Bringing those executives in of color, and then, going on and on from that respect. So.
And I agree with everything you just said. I think especially within the Black community, we don't expose our kids potentially to enough of the opportunities that are out there for them. It doesn't have to necessarily be the traditional careers, a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer. Not that those are bad fields, but sometimes those are not our passions or those are not our strengths where we're interested in it. So I definitely love that you are bringing that exposure into the forefront. And especially with this interview, I'm hoping it will bring some more attention to this field specifically. So one more last question for you. Yep. You are the director of voiceover at Coast to Coast Talent Group. Are you guys based in California?
Yes, we're based in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm.
So if someone, say for instance, like myself, I'm located in Atlanta, do you do virtual consultations and guidance?
I have clients all around the world. I have clients in Atlanta. I have clients in, New York, clients in London, clients all over. There are just a few key factors. Obviously, aside from the skill and all of that, it's the tech. You need to have a home studio set up, be able to send in, reads that are competitive, have your studio set so that if you book a job that you could actually record the job, which the pandemic really made possible. Mm-hmm. It is a silver lining to the pandemic.
Figure that out.
It is a silver lining. And so as long as you have those elements, obviously, if you're out of the country, you have to be able to have a social security number and work in the States. But otherwise, I have clients all over. In fact, I'm coming to Atlanta next month. So rah, rah.
Okay.
I'm part of the VO Atlanta conference, which is a huge voiceover conference. Okay. And that, I think those are March 23, 24, 25. I hope those are the right dates, but you can look it up. voatlanta.com. And and in fact, I'll be teaching some highlights from my curriculum, Method on the Mic, the Actor's Toolkit, Art of the Pivot. We've created that with Malik Berger. So we're both going to be there doing a couple of highlights from that. So if there are any voice actors in the Atlanta market, definitely look into coming to the conference, and you can learn some things and we can meet.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so really quickly, you said if someone was interested in working with you, they need to have a home studio. What are some of the pieces of equipment that someone would need in order to have a sufficient and effective work studio?
Sure. And so equipment is, a lot of it's based on your space and your room and what you have. So what you need is a microphone, a very nice and competitive microphone. You need recording software, which is like Adobe Audition, Twisted Wave. And then you need an interface, so that kind of sweetens all that out.
Okay.
A space to record, your closet. If the clothes are a really good buffer and they make good sound absorption. So perhaps a closet and a space, but you make sure it's not too small so that you're not recording like that and you
Right.
have room to move. And or if your budget can supply an actual whisper room, what they call studio bricks, and that's an actual physical booth that you would go in to record. So those are just some key things that are needed to be able to record from home and be competitive. And once again, if you're in Michigan and you're working on, you want to dive in, I'd say get that going, get your classes, get your training, get your skill set going, find some demo makers, and try to find agents in your local market first.
Mm.
So if you're in Atlanta, there's some amazing voiceover agencies in Atlanta. So I would say, reach out local market first. I mean, you can have multiple agents in multiple markets. So if you live in Atlanta, you could have an agent in San Diego, you could have an agent in Denver, so on and so forth. So the market has opened up. Once again, the pandemic has really made way for that to happen. So you can, just the world is your oyster, I would say,
Okay.
in
Yes.
finding, representation and building a career.
Alrighty, Portia, thank you so much. Before we get out of here, can you just give our viewers information on how they can contact you, book you, if you have social media, how they can follow you, and all that great
Sure.
stuff going on?
Sure. Social media, you can follow me at CTCVO on Instagram, Portia Scott, and it's at CTCVO.
Alrighty, thank you so much again, Portia. I really appreciate you and everything that you are doing for our
Thank
community.
you.
And if you guys would like more information, please follow her on social media, contact her, book her, because she is the GOAT, okay?
Oh, shit, the goat. Oh, did I just, I'm sorry, I said it bad word.
You're good, you're good.
Oh.
It's perfectly fine. You guys make sure you continue to watch In Style Atlanta. Follow us on all social media platforms at the letter N Style Atlanta, and make sure you are following me, Miss JMISS Jordan _radio. Thank you again, Portia. I appreciate you so much and wish you nothing but continued success.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
You are very welcome, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great one.